Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. My name's Kay Adams, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, and Sean O'Hara.
Hello, hello.
Talking digital toasters.
Yes.
Talking, is Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer? Are you sad we're not starting our show with that today, Kyle?
A little bit, yeah. People claim sides on the Julian Edelman thing really fast, and there's comps out there that if Edelman's a Hall of Famer, then Jordy Nelson is, then A.J. Green is, then Hines Ward definitely
Less
is.
yards than Macklin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abnormally, people are mad.
I'm sure we'll do that at some point, Triggs. But today's just to appreciate you.
I think that's a classy way to do it.
That's our show.
Let's not start drawing swords.
I'd love for it to happen just so I could see them try to struggle over, do we put the beard on the bust or not?
I think he's
really tough.
If there was a clutch Hall of Fame, I'd put him in
Talk
first.
about it.
Okay, time for the lead block. We will get to Julian Edelman, but we got to talk about the draft. Yeah, two of the top quarterbacks in this thing are going to put on a show again. Justin Fields and Trey Lance, they're both going to have a second pro day. Fields is working out, guys, tomorrow. Lance is taking the field on Monday. Both Shanahan and John Lynch are expected to attend both workouts. They missed the first round, right, Triggs? So Fields, yes.
In Alabama for Mac Jones. It's the same day.
Important notes here. Okay, plus, according to our very own Tom Pelissero, both these quarterbacks will incorporate drills that Kyle Shanahan uses in practice. Oh, I like this. Okay, what advice, gentlemen, would you give to Justin Fields and Trey Lance, whether it's together or each individually, ahead of their second pro days?
I would say show off. Show off, I mean that. Like, enough with the 8-yard outs. We understand how that works. These pro days now, if you look back on like Josh Allen's when he was just chucking bombs and everyone's oohing and eyeing, or Mahomes who famously walked off and threw it about 300 yards, I honestly think that makes a difference. And if you looked at Zach Wilson's, he made this throw where he was rolling left and then threw back to his right, and Lawrence is tweeting about it, and there's hubbub. There's buzz about this thing. Show off. We understand you have the fundamentals at this point. We've seen enough tape of you. Chuck the thing into the next county. It's basically shaping up like it's a de facto audition for Kyle Shanahan, which is really cool. Maybe it's that way, maybe it isn't. But I would just say also, grand finale. I remember the NBA dunk contest. There was a year that Josh Smith was going into the finals, and he took off his jersey and put on a Dominique Wilkins jersey and brought the house down. If I'm one of these guys, after I finish my entire workout, I finished the whole thing up, I'm taking off whatever I'm wearing, and I'm putting on a John Elway jersey, who Kyle Shanahan watched growing up as his father was coaching him in Colorado, and I'm taking a Nike Vortex football and throwing the thing into the next state, and then I'm walking off and daring Kyle Shanahan not to draft me. Show off, peacock, and appeal to Kyle Shanahan, because that could be your guy.
I love bringing out the Nerf Vortex. That would make all kinds of shots.
Hell yes, it would.
Look, we just spent 15 minutes talking about a toaster, right? I mean, this thing is designed to heat things up and burn things. And yeah, we put a touchscreen on it, we dress it up, and now it's all of a sudden cool and it's new. To your point, yeah, let's do something maybe different, something to make yourself stand out. I go back to, I don't want to link any of these guys to Johnny Manziel, but Johnny Manziel's pro day, the dude came out to intro music. He was wearing shoulder pads. He was wearing camouflage. I'll ask these quarterbacks, look, we know you can throw and look great in shorts and a jersey. Throw some pads on. Look, you don't play football without shoulder pads, so why would you not go out there and showcase your ability to do it with all the pads on? I know everybody wants to show their abs and, you know, run without a shirt on, like we're seeing right here. But, hey, do something a little bit different. I like your jersey swap idea, but I'll take it even a step further.
Yeah.
How about have a defender out there?
Okay.
How about
Manziel had the broom, remember? The broom?
Yeah.
The broom. No, give me a DB. I'm going to throw a slant with a guy that's covering the receiver I'm throwing to. I'm going to show you how good I am, and then I can put this ball into a tight window because I've got a defender.
Sean, what if the DB jumps
and I'm going to tell him that we're on a slant.
Don't stop there, Sean. How about let's have Fields call up Chase Young, bring the Bosa's back, and just rush him every play. There is something to that. These pro days, Triggs, everyone's talking about how it's fluff and how everything's on their terms. Throw some obstacles and diversity in there. It might be interesting.
Fields is the candidate or the prospect in this draft class that is getting dragged the most, and perhaps unfairly, with anonymous sources and people saying. So one thing that you hear a lot is that Fields doesn't throw beyond his first read. Like, it's just always first read. There's a guy named Benjamin Solak who does a lot of the analytics. He went through all of the games, and the conclusion was that it's a completely false narrative, and that Fields actually throws past his first read more often than any other quarterback in this entire draft. So that's wrong. Then there's this thing that, like, all right, well, look what happened when they played Alabama in the championship. Well, no, look what he did against Clemson, against Trevor Lawrence, against a team of future pros. This was the Clemson game in the semifinals. Fields went 22 of 28 for 385, 6 touchdowns. Against Clemson, that's not against against St. Mary's or against, what other school you want to
White
say.
Album.
This is Clemson. So it's important to put Fields' season into context. I think that's what everyone needs to realize. And if I'm Justin Fields, I look right at these guys, and whether it's Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and Adam Peters or Mike McDaniels, whoever it is from the 49ers, and I would say to him this, I would say he faced the toughest schedule of all of these quarterbacks, and historically, no quarterback drafted in the last 10 years has had a more defensive schedule that has been as difficult as Justin Fields has faced than he did in 2020. And guess what? There were a lot of quarterbacks who said, I'm going to take the year off. I'm going to, hey, you know what, we're going to not play the same. Fields was like, no, bring on the best competition. I will give it my best. Played at Georgia, played at Ohio State. He's seen it all. If I'm Justin Fields, I'm saying I'm the guy who in the big games played and did the best work I did. I don't know why you're talking about these other players. I've done the work. It's on tape. Trust me, and I will do whatever read you want me to do.
Triggs, if you're Fields, there's been all this banter too about, man, he was not the first guy in. Start your workout early.
Go, Coughlin style.
If I'm going to throw at 12 o'clock, you know what? I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm in there at 11 o'clock, ready to rock. I'm ripping the ball.
I think there's this negativity around Fields, and it becomes a runaway train. So whether it's Dan Orlovsky saying, "Well, I've heard this," then it becomes the narrative, and I think it's unfair to these players, whether Dan Orlovsky heard it or not, or whether those rumors have been said. You got to grade this player because we have heard a lot worse about other quarterbacks who then go into the pros and light it up. Stuff that you'd read about Dan Marino before the '83 draft. I think every one of those teams that passed on him, maybe aside from the Bills and Broncos, would have said we'd rather have Marino.
What was it again, Peter? The best last 10 years he's done what against what defense?
Defensive schedule. He has faced the hardest defensive schedule of any quarterback drafted in the last 10 years. That includes Northwestern, who was really good. It includes Clemson. It includes Alabama. It includes an Indiana team that was really good.
That makes me think, never mind. They're not like the Jets then are going to take a guy who lost to Coastal Carolina? Like at 2? That's why I don't think that conversation's over. Never mind 3. I just don't think that one's over.
You think the Jets don't know what they're doing at 2 yet?
I don't know. I don't know what they know. They got a couple weeks, probably, but I watched this guy and I hear what Peter's saying, and it's pretty compelling. And Zach Wilson is far from a no-doubter. I like Fields a lot.
A lot of times these prospects are like tunnel vision. I'm not going to listen to the noise. I wonder if the philosophy for Fields is like, wait a second, let me address what's being said about me to these teams and saying, no, let me explain to you what I bring to the table and why I was a #1 high school recruit and why I am better than Mac Jones. Like, I'm Justin Fields. I'm better than Mac Jones. Make the case. I don't know if that would look off as desperate.
Come right here and do it.
He's got it in him, though.
Does that come off as needy if you're Shanahan and Lynch? Like, all right, dude. Or does that look
It's the time of year, man. If you want the job, ask for it. Prove yourself. I don't think it's needy. I think
it's awareness.